What's up, YouTubers? This is your boy Big Metroid Fan 9 coming to you with another video game review. And in this review, I'm going to talk about the game Castlevania, which was released on the NES and the Famicom by Konami and stuff like this. And essentially, the plot of the game is that Simon Belmont goes to Castlevania to destroy the curse of Dracula and everything. And pretty much the main weapon that Simon uses is a whip. Essentially, like the whip, but it can be upgraded on two occasions. The first time it turns into a chain whip, then the second time is a longer chain whip and stuff like that. And one thing about Castlevania is that it has a lot of monsters in it from various monster movies, you know what I'm saying? Dracula, Mummy, Frankenstein, stuff like that. It does dabble with a little Greek mythology with Medusa, which is one of the bosses and stuff like that. And essentially, you have 6 stages within the game where pretty much the entire game takes place in Dracula's castle and everything. So you fight mummies, skeletons, creatures that look like the creature from Black Lagoon, type of creatures. You know what I'm saying? Medusa heads, stuff like that. And you also have the sub weapons / secondary weapons, which consist of the knife, holy water, stopwatch, and the boomerang, cross, and the axe. But the main ones that you want to use, as far as the bosses are concerned, will be just like the holy water, stopwatch, boomerang, cross, or the axe. You know what I'm saying? I would say the knife doesn't do as much damage as the other sub weapons and everything. And essentially, as far as ammo for these sub weapons, you collect big hearts for 5 points and the small ones for 1 point. So the best thing to do, of course, is to get as much hearts as possible before fighting the boss. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the bosses are concerned, you got the Phantom Bat, Medusa, the mummies, Frankenstein and Igor, the Grim Reaper, and the and Dracula himself, which takes on 2 forms and stuff like that. I would say the latter three bosses, are the hardest out the three. But if you have the right sub weapons, taking them out is not an issue and stuff like that in that context. And essentially, you also have pork chops that you can get when you're like low on health to replenish that and everything. And one thing about the bosses is that you can use one of like 3 of the sub weapons to take them out. You know what I'm saying? Like with Medusa, for example, your choices would be like the boomerang, cross, the holy water, or the stopwatch to take her out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Now the graphics and level design for Castlevania is great. You know what I'm saying, with some very good color palettes to it and everything. Now the controls and gameplay from overall standpoint are pretty good, even though the jumping is pretty stiff. You know what I'm saying. Now the soundtrack and the sound effects are great and everything. And one thing about Castlevania as a franchise, you know what I'm saying, it always had a great soundtrack to it and everything. But pretty much the biggest flaw with the Castlevania, this first one, is the difficulty for 3 specific reasons. The first one being, if you like take like 3 or 4 hits, it would drain your health within a matter of seconds. You know what I'm saying, which would cause like not technically instant death, but if you take those 3 or 4 hits, you're gonna die for sure. You know what I'm saying? And then the second issue is pretty much the knockback. If you're not near a pit, then it won't be much of a problem. But if you happen to try to jump over a pit, and you get hit by like a projectile or an enemy, it's gonna be a headache. You know what I'm saying? Then there's the issue of the bosses themselves. And if you don't have like the right sub weapon, you know what I'm saying, you're definitely going to die with facing them, especially if you're talking about like Dracula or the Grim Reaper. You know what I'm saying? And he, and so in some instances, if you do have the right sub weapons, if you don't grab that orb and you're on your last bit of health, you'll die before getting that orb. It can be frustrating, you know. Now, even though the Castlevania is known for its difficulty, um, Castlevania on the NES is a bona fide classic, though. You know what I'm saying? As far as the score, I definitely give it an 8 out of 10 and everything. With that being said, you can sound off in the comment section about Castlevania, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it, and everything. And if you like this video, don't hesitate to click the thumbs up button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification button. This is your boy Big Metro Fan 9 signing off.